Welcome to Inside the Castle, the podcast that goes behind castle doors to have real conversations with real people about solving the nation's toughest challenges.
I'm Angie Fryermuth, one of your hosts today.
And I'm Emily Travoya.
In this episode, we're learning more about the Lean Six Sigma Excellent Award Program with Kevin Fuqua. Welcome, Kevin. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Angie. I'm happy to join you and Emily.
Before we get too much further, we always like to learn a little more about our guest. Granted, you've been on the show before, but for those new listeners, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role within USACE?
Thanks. In my role at the Headquarters, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, I am the Deputy Business Process Improvement Capability Manager within the Resource Management Directorate, the Business Practices and Programs Evaluation Division. I'm an Army Master Black Belt and have been since 2014. I lead the USACE BPI program, Business Process Improvement Program. I've led the program since about 2013. Our process improvement practitioner group has grown from a small team of only about 8 practitioners across the enterprise to a thriving community of over 250 members, and we're still growing. I also support our team in delivering vital engineering solutions in collaboration with our partners to secure our nation, energize our economy, reduce risk from disaster, and so much more. Specifically within resource management, I help optimize the financial management procedures to reduce costs and improve outcomes. I also help to identify opportunities for risk mitigation and identify controls to help ensure compliance with laws, directives, regulations, procedures. And in our division, my role is to serve as the proponent for business analyses, resource data trends, and program evaluation.
Great. Thanks for that, Kevin. So what exactly is the Lean Six Sigma Excellence Award Program?
Excellent. I'm glad you asked. So the Army, Headquarters, Department of the Army, Office of Enterprise Management, OEM, the Lean Six Sigma Excellence Award Program is run by those folks. LEAP is the acronym. So if you hear me say LEAP, that stands for Lean Six Sigma Excellence Award Program. The program is used to recognize Army organizations and practitioners and their project teams who demonstrate excellence in development, sustainment, employment of all these business process improvement capabilities, and of course, in support of the enterprise approach to institutional adoption of process improvement as a concept. Additionally, these LEAP awards provide a mechanism to share best practices and lessons learned across the Army. The Process Improvement Project Team Award, also known as PIPTIA, it's a project team award, recognizes the outstanding contribution and results of these BPI project teams. There's also another award called the Process Improvement Deployment Excellence Award, PIDEA for short. It's all about the deployment, the actual organization program for process improvement. It recognizes Army organizations, teams, and sponsors who distinguish themselves with exceptional results. The team leads from both types will receive the Civilian Service Commendation Medal, and the team members will be recognized with the Civilian Service Achievement Medal. They were also honored at a ceremony about a week and a half ago, hosted by the Honorable Mr. Robin Swan, who is the Director of the Office of Enterprise Management at the Headquarters Department of the Army. In addition, all the awardees received a great big beautiful plaque that they can post somewhere prominently in the organization. There's also a certificate that goes along with that describing what it was they did to achieve the award. And then they also, as I mentioned, will receive the individuals, team leads and team members receive the Army service medals as I described a few minutes ago.
I think this is all great, but can you tell us a little bit about why these awards are so important to the organization and actually the work that you and your cadre are doing, and why is it beneficial to the agency as well?
So it's been my experience over the decade or so that I've been in the Army that these LEAP awards really bring recognition and reward to the folks doing great things out in the field. Recognition and reward are just two of the key components of any successful program and business process improvement strategy. Last LEAP cycle for fiscal year 21 to 22, USACE submitted 6 LEAP nominations. 5 of them were selected by a panel comprised of seasoned Army Master Black Belts, my peers across the Army are RIT, and then they were announced by the Headquarters Department of the Army Office of Enterprise Management as winners in their categories. These winners, the 5 that USACE has, were 5 of 14 of the award winners across the Army. So you can tell just by those numbers alone that we didn't quite sweep the awards, obviously, but we had a great showing. USACE has won many times in the past, and we'll continue to talk about those as we go through the program. But also the importance of the awards to the organization is that beyond the recognition and reward, it brings large publicity to the program at large, at the organization, whether it's the district or the division or the headquarters who won the awards. It brings a lot of recognition and publicity. It's free, right? So the commander has a chance to make the announcements at town hall to further the recognition these folks receive. They've already had this big ceremony with the headquarters department of the Army. Now locally at the MSCs and districts, they'll also celebrate their achievements and awards in a public forum, probably a town hall. They may also receive, additional recognition in terms of cash awards, time off awards, and in many cases, the folks are promoted because they're doing such great work. It also helps because, as most of us know, that when you're recognized by your commander or senior leaders in an organization, they put your arm around you and say, "Hey, great job," shake your hand. Everybody wants to be like you now, right? Everybody wants their time in the spotlight. So it brings a lot of folks to the process improvement community to see, hey, how can I could do that, right? So it's been my experience that we tend to have a large number of folks come into the program as a result of these awards after hearing about them in the communications across the organization.
You mentioned that USACE has received these awards in the past. So how many times has USACE received them?
That's a great question. So I've been here leading the program since 2014, 2015. We've won four cycles of LEAP in a row. USACE has won at least one award in the last 4 LEAP cycles. The LEAP program moved from an annual award program after the 28 cycle to a biennial award starting in 2019. So it's 2019 and 2020, and then again in this most recent cycle, 21 to 22. In the past, in 2016, our very first winner was out of the Nashville district. One of their project teams won a recognition for a project that they used a new procurement method working with the Defense Logistics Agency to streamline bringing in parts and supplies into the Nashville district. And then again in 2017, Nashville district won again, this time again as a team award. This one was for a minor shoreline licensing project where they had improved the process for a customer out around our parks and recreation facilities to submit a request for licensing. They streamlined that process and won an award for that in 2017. In 2018 was one of our banner years. We actually had 3 award winners that year. Our New Orleans Engineer District won a project team award from a black belt project looking at the FLIPL process, which is it's a property and accountability process whereby if a piece of property is lost, stolen, for whatever reason can't be found, you have to do an investigation. That process can be very arduous, and they had streamlined that down well below even the Army requirement, which I believe was 70 days at the time. I'm not sure what it is today. A second award that year in 2018 was won by a district, another team award. That was for a value engineering project, improving the construction, planning, and engineering for Sioux locks. There was literally millions and millions of dollars saved by that value engineering team in context of construction costs. And then also in 2018, the Galveston district had a value engineering project that also won. This one was looking at the Sabine Neches waterway and how to improve some of the lock and planning for construction along that waterway. And then most recently in the previous cycle, 2019 to 2020, the first biennial cycle, Huntington District was recognized for a team award for improving their project delivery data analytics. In this case, we know probably since the 20th century, we had lots of products that we did reporting by hand, right? We gathered data by hand, put it in a spreadsheet, maybe created a table or a graphic or something. Huntington District, when it brought it to the 21st century level, where the data is actually pulled literally from databases and then displayed with the visualization on a dashboard that can be toggled through to see different types of filters, whether it's a particular type function or typical mission or by fiscal year, a bunch of different ways you can slice and dice. But that's all fully automated now. You no longer have analysts gathering and parsing data. Instead, they're focused on analysis using the dashboard analytics that was built by their team there at Huntington District.
I personally can't say enough for the great work that you and the cadre do for the organization. And if you take a look even just at the Civil Works priority areas of upgrading the nation's waterways and ports and modernizing the Civil Works program, you all play a key role in that. And so having the practitioners that we have within the organization that can really take a look at all of the processes that we are using to accomplish the mission is just a huge benefit to the organization. So I really want to know more about the winners of this year's awards. Just for our audience, Kevin's going to give a brief overview of the winners, and then we're going to have a series on this where we're going to dive into each of the award winners in more detail. So, Kevin, can you tell us more about the winners?
Yeah, excellent. So one of the things that we're most proud of that was sort of our mantra or chant slogan, if call it a campaign slogan, if you like. As you heard just previously, we had won 4 cycles in a row. As we submitted our 6 nominations into the Army program late last year, we were hoping to achieve 1 for the thumb. In other words, 1 for each of the 4 of the fingers. And if we won again, we'd have another ring for the thumb. So we were really pleased to announce that we had 5 of those 6 nominations win. The biggest one, the first ever Process Improvement Deployment Excellence Award, the PADIA, for organizational excellence, was awarded to the Mississippi Valley Division. They won in the subordinate organization category at the Army division level. Mississippi Valley Division's Process Improvement Program was recognized as the best in class, with certified belts available in all 6 of their engineering districts and nearly $2.5 million in estimated annual financial benefits from those process improvement activities, just in that fiscal year 21 to 22 timeline. Mississippi Valley Division sets the standard for business process improvement excellence, and they have over 30 certified green belts and a dozen black belts that continue to do process improvement and great things across their region. The first of 4 Process Improvement Team Excellence Awards, the PIPTIAs, those are winners for team and project excellence, as I mentioned a minute ago. The first of those was the New Orleans Engineer District, and they won in the non-enterprise greenbelt category in the subordinate organization as an engineer district. They had a team led by Greenbelt Dave Ohm that developed an automated dashboard to enable leaders and supervisors to ensure every employee receives a performance plan, a mid-year review, and an appraisal on time. This best practice was then replicated regionally wide across Mississippi Valley Division, resulting in an estimated annual cost avoidance of over $200,000. The second and related project Process Improvement Team Excellence Award went to the Headquarters Human Resources Directorate in the non-gated category in the Army Regulation 10-87 Direct Reporting Unit category. They had a team of data visualization experts led by Black Belt Ozzie Orwick that replicated the MVD, the Mississippi Valley Division dashboard, in an enterprise-wide performance reporting status dashboard. They created, in fact, a new solution that was even more fully automated, refined, secured, and aligned with the headquarters USACE key performance indicators and metrics. That enterprise-wide solution is now 100% automated, completely hands-off from the data, raw data, straight out of the Army's reporting repository to the dashboard. It also has row-level data access, security features. In other words, it's cyber secure, and a variety of tabs to mirror previous static spreadsheet reports. In other words, we were using Excel reports to manage this effort long before. It includes sortable enterprise comparative data status overviews and metrics by organization. Another great project. One of the first that we've had that was a replication of something done at the district or region was brought up to headquarters and distributed enterprise-wide by Ozzie and his team. A fabulous an achievement. The third Process Improvement Team Excellence Award, PIPTIA, went to Huntsville Engineering Support Center in the non-enterprise Greenbelt category, a subordinate organization as a test center. It was led by Greenbelt Carlos Race. This project and team were recognized also as a 2022 USACE Innovation Award winner. As a result of deploying their Welcome to It digital and processing tool, dashboard, and other countermeasures for onboarding time, in other words, new employees coming into Huntsville, they reduced that process by more than 60%. And finally, South Atlantic Division in the non-enterprise Black Belt category, subordinate organization Army Division, won for a process improvement project led by their Black Belt, Zach Taylor. That project ensures the visibility of all real estate appraisal requests that come to the headquarters South Atlantic Division, along with active tracking through completion of the appraisal. The effort resulted in a 45% reduction in processing time for real estate appraisals and requests sent to the headquarters South Atlantic Division. All of these teams and the Deployment Excellence Award that Mississippi Valley Division received are all standouts, not only within the USACE process improvement program itself and the projects that were completed across the enterprise during that 2-year period, but obviously stood out at the Army level as award winners. The team of Master Black Belts, 3 or 4 of those folks that were on the panel reached out to me personally to ask questions about how we managed our program, the templates and the methodology that the belts used, and how these projects were identified and supported by leadership. That is one of the largest challenges for process improvement in the Army and in Corps-wide is leadership visibility and determination to finish our process improvement projects that are chartered typically by our leadership, and then a team lead, a green belt or black belt, master black belt assigned to it, and team members, subject matter experts to help to support that process improvement effort. It's a team sport, right? So these black belts and green belts don't do the work. Instead, they facilitate these teams to lead them through development of process maps, understanding what's going on for the problems in terms of root cause analysis, developing and implementing the solutions, piloting to make sure the solutions work, and then following through at the end with a control plan to make sure that the goodness that they put in place stays in place, typically by reporting metrics and solutions that are standardized within their business procedures at their local level. These folks all did a fantastic job. I'm excited to hear the continuing series where you have a chance to talk to them and their team members and or some of the leaders engaged with these process improvement efforts at the districts, the headquarters, and the Human Resources Directorate. Certainly the Huntsville Center has a great program, and then South Atlantic Division and Zach and his team. I'm excited to hear their podcasts here in the future.
Wow, that's an impressive group of teams. And I'm also definitely looking forward to hearing more from the winners in upcoming podcasts. But Kevin, is there anything else you want to tell our audience before we part ways?
Yeah, excellent. Thanks. So I and USACE are excited to compete in the next LEAP cycle. It started 1 October of last year. It's a 2023-2024 LEAP cycle. We've actually already completed several great process improvement projects across the enterprise, and I'm certain that those folks will develop nomination packages to get their senior leader support endorsement. In fact, right now we're wrapping up an effort to improve our emergency responders process that document their time and attendance. We're moving that process from a completely manual process to a process that's mostly automated and more aligned to the timekeeping we do in our normal day-to-day operations. The effort is conservatively expected to shave more than 75% of time off the current process. That allows our volunteer responders to focus on the mission of disaster recovery and not the administrivia of timekeeping. In future episodes of the podcast, Inside the Castle, you get to hear from some of the other fantastic process improvement professionals from across the Corps who led projects recognized by Headquarters DA as best of the best. You get to hear their stories, learn how they solve some really tough challenges, and meet some of their team members and leaders who champion the efforts. Thanks again for the opportunity, Emily and Angie. I appreciate it greatly, and I'm happy to be here.
Well, it's always a pleasure talking with you, Kevin. And like Emily, I too am looking forward to hearing more about these award winners and their projects. So, Kevin, thank you for joining us today for this edition of Inside the Castle. We appreciate you and your insights. Until next time, be safe, be innovative, and keep doing great things for the Corps and the nation.
Thanks for joining us for this Inside the Castle podcast. To provide your feedback, email us at cw.infrastructure.team@usace.army.mil. Stay tuned for additional Inside the Castle podcasts as we explore life inside the Corps and revolutionize civil works together.